This is the kind of guy who is going to be successful in this appraisal world because not only does he take principles to heart, but he takes action.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach Podcast.
Minisode.
Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. Dustin Harris hanging out, another minisode for you. I want to talk today about the greatest key to success. I want to pause here and remind you that we are sponsored today by Anow Software. Of course, anow.com is where you find out more about the greatest management system for appraisers nationwide. Check them out, anow.com, anow.com. Folks, we teach a lot of principles here, a lot of success principles, if you will. A principle, as I define it, is a truth, right? It's something that never changes. Now, our understanding of that truth might change over time, but these are things that are true in caveman times, and they are true today, and they are true in spaceship times to come. These are things that just universally are true, whether we understand them fully or not, whether we practice them fully or not. They're still truths, and they're truth about success. About a year and a half ago, I did a series. If you missed it, I encourage you to go back and re-listen, if you will, or listen for the first time if it's something that you missed up front. And that is the 12 principles of success, the principles of prosperity, as we call them. And we did a series on this particular show where we talked about each one individually. I've been asked, Dustin, what is the one key to success? Well, of course, folks, there is none. Of course, I apologize, but there just is not one key to success. But I will say this. Today, we're going to talk about the most important key to success, and I mean that. The most important thing that you can remember when it comes to success. And we're also going to talk about one of the follow-up, if you will, the runner-up key to success. And so hold on tight to that. I want to pause here and remind you that we are sponsored, of course, by Anow Software. Anow is the software that I'm using every single day to find out more about my business. I'll give you an example. About 10 minutes ago, I got an email from my office, and it was an update, if you will, from Anow. It was automatically generated. I didn't have to do anything except set it up in the beginning to get. And it was a monthly rundown. Happens to be that I'm recording this on the first day of the month, and we got an email this morning that basically said, hey, here's how last month went. Here's the total number of orders that you had. Here's how it compares to times past. Here's the revenue that you generated. Here's how it compares to times past. Folks, this is stuff that makes running your business easy. Now, nobody ever said running a business was easy, but Anow makes it that way. You can find out more by going to anow.com. And of course, if you use the coupon code podcast30, that's 30, podcast30, you'll get 30% off the first 3 months. And welcome back to the program, everybody. We're talking about the key to success. That's right, the one key. Now, I set this up before the break, reminded you there is not one key to success. There is a combination, and the way that you employ those will determine your success. But I do feel that there is one key that stands out above the rest, and that is action. That's right. The key to success is action, or actually taking action, doing something about the ideas that are rumbling around in your head. Let's be honest with each other. We all have great ideas. You're standing in the shower, you're soaping up your hair if you have some, and this idea, this brilliant light bulb goes off, and all of a sudden you think, wow, that's a great idea. How many of us are actually, after toweling off and dressing, are going to take action on that particular idea? I can tell you, folks, the statistics say 99.9% of us will not, and that's the difference. Now, granted, with every idea comes a whole lot of backstory. With every idea comes a whole lot of stuff piled up on top, right? And that's where we get stuck. That's where we get in the minutia. But if we can take success to the next level, if we can take success one step further, folks, we will find that the benefit is huge. Let me give you an example. As you all know, I do a lot of personal private coaching. In addition to the All-Star team and the mastermind groups, I, on occasion, a couple times a day usually, meet with individuals across the nation. These are appraisers who want to improve their lives, want to improve their business, want to have more time, more money, And we have some awesome opportunities to sit down. And a lot of times these come in series, right? So, for example, we have what's called the six-pack. And if you go to my website, theappraisercoach.com, and click on coaching, you can order the six-pack. The six-pack is 6 45-minute sessions, one-on-one, just you and I. Or if you want to, have a business partner or a spouse or an office manager on with you, you certainly can. But it's a one-on-one session where we have an opportunity to catch your vision and then meet with you on a regular basis to help you to move along the path properly. Now, with every one of those sessions, it would be pretty rare for me not to give you some homework or for you to give yourself some homework, right? At the end of the session, we typically say, okay, this is what we talked about today, and I want to see you do these 3 items before we meet next time. The reason I jumped on the microphone today is I had an opportunity to meet with a good friend, a client, by the name of Dwayne. Hi, Dwayne. Shout out to you. And Dwayne is meeting with me for some private coaching. Dwayne is fairly new in the appraisal space. In fact, he's only run his own business for a short time. He was with another business for a while. And he needs some coaching and wanted some coaching and reached out to me. And we've got to know each other pretty well. I have a pretty good idea what his vision is. And we've been meeting back and forth. And folks, I'm telling you, just a huge amount of applause out to Dwayne, because here's a guy who gets it, right? If you're going to spend the money and the time to do coaching, why in the world would you not do the homework and progress and get the things done that's going to bring the true value, right? I can't do it for you. I can give you advice. I can talk you through some things. I can make you feel good about some things. I can make you feel bad about some things, right? I can have that effect on people. I can motivate, and I do motivate. And this is my role and my goal. But my role and my goal is not to do it for you. It has to be done by yourself. First of all, I can't do it for you. Second of all, you wouldn't value it if I did. One of the great things about Dwayne is every single time I've met with him, I go through and step by step, okay, Dwayne, well, last time we met, you were going to hire a VA. Folks, I kid you not, I met with Dwayne 3 weeks ago. In 3 weeks, he hired a virtual assistant, onboarded her, is starting to train her. She's already working her 40 hours a week. Now, one of the things we talked about today is how to fill that 40 hours, right? We got into some real detail there. But that's not all. He developed a logo. That's right. He developed a website. He actually built the website himself, folks. He went in, watched some YouTube videos, learned how to do WordPress, and developed his own simple website. Absolutely amazing. Hats off, Dwayne. This is the kind of guy who's going to be successful in this appraisal world, because not only does he take principles to heart, but he takes action. That's the key, folks. I've talked about it before, the 2%ers out there, right? You got the 98% of the world that just kind of just does their thing day to day, and every morning kind of looks like the last morning and the next morning. And every day they do their thing, and Friday night they might go out to the bar and enjoy themselves and do whatever they do on the weekend, and Monday morning they're back at it, punching a clock and doing their thing. Now, nothing wrong with that lifestyle if that is something that you have actively chosen, but that's kind of the key. And that's what I want to talk about today. The key is actively chosen. In other words, whatever you choose to do with your life, I have absolutely no problem with. That is your choice. That is, as long as it doesn't harm others, do it. Go for it. Whatever makes you happy. But if you're like 98% of the world that wants more, that wants success, but then doesn't do anything about it, that's where the problem lies. That's the key. I'm going to tell you a brief story as we close up today, and that is years ago I got into partnership with an individual, a friend of mine. Enjoyed this guy very, very much. We could talk till wee hours of the morning about principles of success and about life and about this, that, and the other, folks. And we developed a relationship that turned into a business relationship, that turned into a partnership. And let's just say it ended, unfortunately. Still like this guy, still have the utmost respect, but it just was unbalanced. And the key, folks, is action. Right? If you're going to take action. You can talk all night long about principles of success, but if in the morning you don't take action on those things, that's what keeps you in the 98%. That's the difference between the 98 and the 2. Where are you? What side of that line are you on? Are you part of the 2% that is successful? And if you are, I can promise you it has to do with one main principle. That is action. Folks, I talked about coaching. I would love to have an opportunity to meet you, to find out what your goals and ambitions are. That you become part of that 2% that actually takes action, that meets with me, says, hey, Dustin, here's where I am, here's where I want to go, help me get there. I would love to do that. Find out more at my website, theappraisercoach.com/coaching.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit theappraisercoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.